Hi guys, my name's Seb Tudor, I'm the man on Silver Mountain, and welcome back. First off, yes, my hair is gone. Second off, yes, my room has changed. But there are reasons for that I'll get into another time. But today, specifically, I wanted to put this video out because there's been an awful lot of discussion around YouTube, and there's been an awful lot of things blowing up, and there have been complaints, and there's been YouTube have finally started replying and all that kind of thing, and it's a really all over the place situation, both for creators, for viewers, for probably to a degree for YouTube itself, considering it is quite a large and branching company. But then what I wanted to do was take a look at this from my perspective, as I've only been here a few months and my channel is still particularly small, and as a result, you know, you've had lots of big channels trying to show off where their numbers are going up and down and where their sources are coming from, and how things seem to have changed and all that kind of thing. And then you've got YouTube going, well, we don't unsubscribe people, we don't cause these problems, there is no problem with the system because reasons. And I'll get into that in a minute as well. But what it comes down to is, I'm new, my numbers are very small, it's very easy for me to spot the ups and downs when, for a channel like PewDiePie or whoever else, where you've got peaks and troughs of potentially thousands of people anyway, you know, I feel like those numbers may very well be, you know, there may be more to those than is made apparent even to him, just because of how large those numbers actually are. So first off though, I want to go through this in a very kind of straightforward and simple manner. So first off, why is this why is YouTube this big platform? How has it got there, and so on and so forth? Simply put, it was the first, it was one of the best, it still is one of the best, and in terms of the tools that it has available to one degree or another, it's the most used because it was taken on early on and then has grown over time and is still continuing to grow and change. And it, you know, with over 1 billion individual users, you know, that it's a big deal. You know, when you've got a seventh of the world's population, or over a seventh of the world's entire population, using this particular site to one degree or another, that is quite a substantial thing to be a part of. But then kind of moving on to it, so okay, where are the problems? Well, the problems that are being complained about, some of which I can see, some of which I can't see or haven't seen, are things like the unsubscribe bug, which has been, it's been noted that it turned up in 2012. I remember when it turned up in 2012. It's been and it's been an on and off thing since then. It's just now it seems to have become far more apparent to people once again. And YouTube, in a video that it did, because it wants to reassure the viewers seemingly more so than it does the creators, it put out a video on its YouTube help page going, we are not responsible for this. We looked at 100 different cases and couldn't find a problem. And it's like, when you've got tens of thousands of people making the complaints and you're only checking 100, that's not a representative sample by any stretch. You know, if they had said 1,000, then if you've got 10,000 people that have complained and whatever, you had 11,000 dislikes on the video, suggesting that there are at least 11,000 people that disagree with their approach, or at least, you know, the results that they seem to have found. You know, take 1,000 people, that's 10%, or give or take, of that that group. That is more representative, not hugely representative, but more representative than 100, which is 0.000 whatever, or 0.001 or something. And so, you know, there's that. And then on the creator side, they're seeing their subscriber numbers drop, when then, you know, much more substantially than they should have been, or that is apparent for any reason why there would be. They're noticing their views drop, their traffic sources changing, and that kind of thing. And some of these are going to be natural changes, as has been noted by several different people. YouTube is a growing and changing thing, but it doesn't the changes in some people's numbers are quite pronounced and quite sweeping. My issue that I particularly have noticed is that their analytics seem to be, or at least the way that that the analytics are kind of put forward, it's an odd one, because if I go into my my videos by views, yeah, if I take a look and I take a look at the views for all of my videos, then it tells me that it'll give me the watch minutes and all the rest of it, but it gives me the number of views as the highest one being 40 on one of my videos. And the issue that I have with this is that if I order it by views, if I tell it to sort by views, it still tells me that 40 is the highest, when I can then go into my video manager and take a look and see that it's presenting me, there are videos here with over 50 views, which, again, small numbers, but again, what it comes down to is that's a noticeable disparity between what the system is trying to tell me and what is the actuality of the situation. And then, when did these things blow up? H3H3 made its video maybe 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, my traffic sources changed as well. At the very beginning, I get a lot of traffic from external because I post to other places, but previously, up until 2 secs. So up until October time, the main source of my of people finding my videos was through either suggestions or YouTube channels, and then it suddenly jumps to kind of playlists being the most substantial, which is good because it means people are actually going to the channel and watching stuff. But then it drops off again, and the highest so it's like before I was having 15-16 people come through from things like suggested videos, people coming through from the browse feature and so on and so forth, and then it's tailed off to, at times, literally no one coming in and finding things other than through the external links that I've put. And at times it's when I've been commenting on stuff that is prevalent, because there have been other videos out in the same couple of days that have been that I've seen on some of my YouTube stuff on my private account, for various topics that I've then also touched on, and they've rather interestingly, they've turned up in suggestion bars and whatever else when I watch my own videos to make sure they go up properly in full every day. Yeah, so having the sudden disappearance of those videos from my suggestions and from my other bits and pieces, when you would have thought that if I'm continually watching them, then they would be there. They would be as part of the things that are suggested for me by YouTube. It's like what Ethan from H3H3 said when he was checking on his other half's account, and they found out the H3H3 videos just weren't showing up. Now, there could be lots of people have talked about this. You've had lots of high-profile YouTubers pointing out all manner of issues with these kind of things and putting them across to kind of, it could be this, it could be that. YouTube is saying that there isn't a problem. Well, if that's the case, then no, so many people have called out for, no one is asking for YouTube to kind of specifically spell everything out, to give all of the specifics, everything that is favoured by the algorithm, everything that is favoured by everything else. You know, so the next thing that I want to just touch on, we've touched on the why we're in this situation, the bad things that are actually happening. So touching on the next thing, you know, which is what can be done about it. And simply put, the things that can be done about it are YouTube can be more transparent, and as I said, not looking for people to spell out the entire algorithm and exactly how everything works, but saying in broad strokes, the YouTube algorithm does prefer long form content, for instance, things that have, you know, extra watch minutes in it. That's all you need to say. You don't need to be specific about how many, but it gives people an idea to work towards. You know, you've got people who have been doing like the 10-minute video format for a long time, looking at this and going, you know, oh well, I've been doing this for so long and I've been losing all of my subscribers, I've been losing my views, I don't know what's going on, I've been generating as much good content as I can, you know, and it doesn't, you know, it's not apparent to them that they're getting a reward or they're getting as much back for the work that they're putting in anymore. And that could very well be just that the algorithm and YouTube want more minutes, so that there's more potential for retention, so that then it moves on, you know, and they can gain more from it. The other thing that's been noted is that YouTube is a company, and so they're obviously looking to make more money because previously they've been losing money on it, and that's why they started up things like YouTube Red and all those other things. But here's the problem: the lack of transparency, the lack of awareness and connection with their creators, especially considering that they're essentially making money through the creators already, and things like YouTube Red are the kind of next big thing to help them move along, both for creators and not. You want people to subscribe to your service. You don't just want people purely to watch ads, watch videos and things like that. You want people to subscribe, because that's going to be a big thing. If you can get however much money it is per person from YouTube Red for all of the billion or so users, and if that's a yearly subscription or a monthly subscription, or however it is that those people decide to subscribe, that is a vast amount of money that you've just made, even if you're sharing it with the creators. You know, that's such a huge amount of money. But the thing is, look at the subscription services that people actually subscribe to and work for, yeah, and are willing to kind of put up with the subscription because they get stuff. Take a look at Netflix, yeah? It's transparent, it tells you what's coming in and what's coming out, it provides decent content for you, it's easy and simple to use, you know, it's that continual drip feed of money from that person for a service that they want. If you want the same kind of thing, YouTube, as subscription services like Netflix and whatever else, you need to be more transparent. Not spelling it all out, but giving the information across to creators so that they can enrich your platform, they can enrich your site. Yeah, you need to be able to provide the quality that the viewers are waiting for, because they're the people who are going to be either subscribing and presenting money to you, or promoting your platform so that you can make money through those subscriptions from the people watching videos. You know, the development of communities and things like that, you know, that's where your platform started and where it grew into such a big thing in the first place. The next thing, you know, that you need to take into account of is, as said, those communities. You've got things like the community tab that is being, used by various people already, but it's not available to everybody. Simply put, make it available to everybody. At one point, you had video responses. Bring those back, make them available to everybody, as that is at times how people were able to actively push themselves into the view of other people to get views. Yeah, the conversations between creators, the conversations between the creator and their audience in the format that your site is most used for. That was a way for people to kind of actively promote themselves. It was a really useful and interesting way of kind of pushing forward, and you got rid of it. And now those creators and these people, you've removed agency from them. You've removed control from those people, and you expect them to trust you. But then when there is a legitimate concern that is brought to you by an awful lot of people, you go, give us your feedback, and then when they give you the feedback, you only cherry pick, potentially, or at the very least take a tiny sample of people to actually look at what the problem is. Whether it's, as some people have suggested, a graphical glitch, as some people have suggested something hidden in the various ways the website reacts to potentially other software or other things. All of the various different reasons that people have suggested. You've got 1 billion people sat there looking at your platform waiting for you to do things. You've got people like PewDiePie, one of your largest promoters as well as one of your largest creators, sat there trolling the internet and demonstrating firstly how kind of sick the platform can be in regards to just raising subscriber counts and pushing things up and all that kind of thing. But also, he's very much made the big point of he's observed issues, others have observed issues, he's raising them. And yet your videos and things, your responses have either been very small or not at all. Saying, you're not responding to your community at large, you're making stuff up and seeing if it'll work. And considering you've got a huge community of involved people, at the very least in the creators that use your site, sat there waiting to kind of help to make the platform better. If you want to promote new users, then there are older users who are more than happy to work with that. You've got your YouTube spaces that you're opening up to create better content. You've got all of these various other things going around, but then you've also got things like YouTube Heroes, or your responses to this situation at the moment, whereby you're kind of dropping the ball. You're not listening to people. You're kind of ignoring the people that actually use your platform. And no business has ever done well at selling their product, which in your case is the videos of your creators and the opportunity for ads on those to certain companies and things. Which one of those two bases is bigger? You're going to follow the money, but where's the biggest amount of money? You might get very large ad deals from certain groups, games and movies and whatever else, but surely the much larger amount of money is going to come from those billion people. Like, even if you got each one of those billion people to give you $1, that would be $1 billion sat there to begin with. And then let's say that you chop that in half the same way that you do with AdSense and give that to someone else. That's still $500 million. And then if you get people to invest long term, that's $500 million from everybody whenever their subscriptions come into you. Your customers are most certainly the viewers and the creators more so than anyone else. So the fact that you're ignoring them is just bizarre to me, business-wise. But then the last thing that I just wanted to touch on, because obviously you've got a lot of creators that are now feeling pressure. You know, they're feeling the negative slant, especially younger and newer YouTubers who, like myself arguably, who have come onto the platform to try and do a thing, to try and promote a thing, to try and work within this system purely because it is the best system out there, the best platform out there for them to do it. You know, you've got those people that have come to the platform more recently. Some of them, they hit one viral video and they fly off into the thousands and thousands of subscribers, and that's great. Many of the others grind and work, and they try and listen to advice, they try and do what people want, they try and look at their analytics and break it down, and you know, they want to do well. You know, the reason why I came here was because I wanted to help more people with the things that I do, and the issues that I come across, and the perspectives that I gain, and the experiences that I've had. You know, I want to put those across to a much larger audience so that I can help more people than just 1 to 5 people at a time sat in someone's kitchen, or sat in a boardroom or something like that. You know, I'd much prefer to throw it out to more people. And so, you know, when you've got these downturns and when you've got these things that are causing the platform to become problematic for those people, you know, not only does it mean that you're potentially just denying the enrichment of your, or arguably preventing the enrichment of your own platform, but also it leaves the communities or the people that would like to find those people or whatever else left without, and it leaves the creators unsupported. And some of those creators who are kind of at the end of what they're doing, and as a result that's one of the reasons why they've come to the platform, you know, they want to do more through it. Those people, you know, cannot necessarily survive without support to a degree, without finding the people, without being exposed to them, you know. And so one suggestion that I would have for YouTube, if you're going to have the trending tab, which has some human intervention and whatever else to promote things, if you want new talent on your platform, why not have a new talent tab as well? Because the old talent with thousands of subscribers that gets thousands of views per video when they're uploaded and things like that, they're going to get passed around an awful lot more. Some of them are going to make big news in various places. You know, those people don't necessarily need the help as much. The new talent, the people that are just starting out on your platform, that is a very constraining platform that is hard to be active in. You know, that a kind of new talent tab or something like that for people to go and take a look at what's new, people coming onto the platform and who are doing kind of substantial amounts of creation for your platform. You know, have something like that, I think would be useful. But in regards to all the people who would like to support the creators that they like, you know, obviously the YouTube Red thing is where YouTube itself would like you to go for supporting your favorite creators. But more to the point, you know, the creators that you like, without going off platform to things like Patreon and whatever else, depending on whether or not those creators have those, the things that you can do to help the creators on the site: turn off ad block, watch the videos, because as YouTubers kept saying, watch minutes are key. If you like a creator, regardless of who they are, whether they're a makeup blog, whether they're someone like me, whether they're a gamer or I don't know, a reviews channel or whatever else, you know, whichever area of YouTube they happen to fit into, watch the videos, watch all of them all the way through, you know, share them around, because the especially if they're a smaller creator, you know, a few thousand subscribers or something and growing, then they need your support. They need the shares. They need the pickup on their ideas and the promotion of them. You know, otherwise they're going to fall into problems and they're going to collapse. You know, when at the very least watch time or engagement or whatever else can be easily monitored by YouTube, and they can see who's doing what. Yeah. So if you want to help them in a monetary sense through just the AdSense that they get from YouTube, simply turn off your ad block. Otherwise, if you want to support them on the platform, as in actually make them a bigger presence and a better presence on the platform, simply watch their videos all the way through. You know, things like liking and commenting and whatever else, put those in so that that person knows that they've got some support going, so that they can maybe try and branch out a bit more, or they can look for the support to do things. And then, you know, beyond that, you know, as I said, share it around. If you find something that you like and that you think other people might like, or the other people might find it useful, or whatever else, share it around. You know, my friends and I, my girlfriend and I, you know, we share videos around us all the time, because if we find something cool, we want to share. Instead of just finding a thing that you like on YouTube and keeping it to yourself, share it around, even if it's only to like 1 or 2 people that might appreciate it. You know, put it out there, because then potentially those people will share it and it just cascades. You know, it's a useful thing for the creator, regardless of whether or not you can support them in any other way. Just talking about that creator and getting their name out there a bit more is only going to be a positive thing. But anyway, yeah, I'm interested to know, what do you guys think, because quite frankly this has become a big issue, and it's very cloudy because YouTube refuses to give any kind of real clarity, and when they do try, it's very much a kind of, oh, well, we're just going to brush it off, which, as I've said, isn't helpful. But, you know, have you guys experienced any of the issues? Have you guys experienced any of the problems? Or any of you creators who have, like me, seen weird things happening with your analytics that weren't happening 2 or 3 months ago? When I first started, they were working perfectly well. Now they seem to have got stuck in certain areas, you know. Well, you know, tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what your experiences are. Tell me which YouTubers you've been like looking to support and who seem to have been having a hard time. You know, I'm interested in all of it, because quite frankly, around this situation, anything that you guys have to say is only ever going to help me with what I'm doing here as well. So yeah, that's today's bonus video. I hope you found it interesting or possibly useful. I didn't really have the time to set up the screen stuff so I could actually show you my numbers, but you know, hey ho. And otherwise, as I said, if you found this at all interesting, drop us a like. If not, please subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the video tomorrow. Take care.